Um, I guess I feel like talking a little more and giving you another glimpse about me. I had a rough coming up. I grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota. One sister, her name's Susie, 3 years younger than me. Religious upbringing, Pentecostal, I think I mentioned the Holy Roller thing. Church every Sunday, twice a day. Supposed to go on Thursdays too, but we never did. Very strict rules. Women couldn't wear pants. It was supposed to be men's attire. We couldn't cut our hair. So I was forced to have long hair all my childhood. Women couldn't wear makeup. Women couldn't wear jewelry. Nobody could go to movies, and nobody could dance. Rock and roll was out. Pretty much anything that was fun was out. That was a big part of it. And then there was the other part, which was not so cool, was my sister and I were molested by my father. From birth, he was a real heavy pedophile. When I was 11, I told him to stop. And he got really angry. But he did. A couple of weeks later, my sister went up and told my mom, "Daddy's touching me funny." And so my mom asked me, "Has Daddy ever touched you funny?" And so I told her the whole thing. Told her everything. Because it had just started feeling wrong. He had started, whereas when I was a baby and a child, he took what he wanted. As I got older, he had to manipulate. And it started getting just really sick because I was making choices. I was having to agree to things and acquiesce, and he had to bribe me into things. And I couldn't choose that. I was 11 years old and it felt ishy. And so I told her everything. And he went to church that Sunday. And he prayed up at the altar with all the ministers around him, all the men of the church laying hands on him, on his shoulders, supporting him. And he raised his hand and he spoke in tongues. And he came home that night and he said that he had given it to God and we would never speak of it again as a family. And we didn't. And he never laid a hand on me again. But he kept molesting my little sister. And she's very, very messed up to this day. I have 3 beautiful nieces that I don't know what's happened to them in their lives. She married a sex offender. 2 of the daughters are by him. One is almost 18. One is 9 and the other is just a baby. The baby she just wanted was some random stranger because she wanted another baby. So I stay away from my family quite a bit. They're not healthy for me. and I live my own life, and I make my own choices, and I try to keep my family as healthy as possible. And my son told me, my 16-year-old, a couple of years ago, that I had broken a lot of cycles in the family, and I thought that was really cool. First of all, for him to notice at age 14, and second of all, just that I had done what I felt like I had accomplished what I'd set out to do, and that was, break some of the stuff that, the main one, incest. There was some other abuses too, and I'd broken those. But yeah, so that's the deepest, darkest in my closet. And I go to counseling once in a while, because things get, every once in a while you get flashbacks. So, but I've always determined it's not going to affect my sexuality, and it's not going to affect my life. And my dad died in '88, the year I went over to Europe. And, I don't know. I don't think about him much. I've got this wooden statue of a man that he made kneeling, and I've got it in my garden, kneeling to the statue of Virgin Mary. And it's weathering, and it's falling apart in the weather, and I'm just going to let it disintegrate and let nature take it and claim it back to the earth. And that's the way I'm dealing with my dad and the insects.